Sure. Language access is one of the key things. Asian American Pacific Islanders, no matter how many generations some of us have been in this country, we still have a lot of our population that are still dependent on their native language, not English. And so some people might be somewhat familiar, but when it comes to technical language, it might be a little bit hard for them to decipher what technical English terminology is. So having language assistance is very important, especially when it comes to a basic right like voting, which is why I really want to make sure that we've done a great job in Virginia, unlike some other states. We have actually gone forward to make sure that every voter who wants to vote has all the opportunities and the access and availability to do so, including assistance from those that want to provide them language assistance. But as you remember from COVID, there are at least two areas where after COVID hit us, we had some language problems. One is with VEC, the employment, for those that were unemployed, that were applying for unemployment. The only language that was online on the website was Spanish, but everything else basically was Google Translate. And so we wanted to provide some way of making sure that we have language assistance, both either written or in oral form. And that was a hard nut to crack, because it's, how do you stand up a program with lots of multilingual translators? Do we bring in contractors? We have online service, maybe like some kind of a call-in center. So that was one that was difficult. And then the other, of course, now in light of the distribution of vaccine, but similarly what we did testing, we all know about the disparities in unfortunately, in the Black and brown communities, both in terms of the impact of who is the frontline workers and therefore being more impacted and more infected. And then now, as the distribution of vaccines is going on, we still see that disparity with the African-American, Latino communities, and some Asian American communities. And part of that is because all the information right now online is all in English, which for people like us, it's great. But for the rest of the folks in Virginia who just have a hard time understanding it, we need to have nonprofits, the churches, families, others go out there, and young generations like Kathy's kids would have to go out there and translate for their parents. And so that's not a good system for us to have if you want to deliver services to everybody in Virginia. So language assistance and culturally appropriate language assistance is, I think, the key thing for us.